Thanks for staying with us. And Bill O'Reilly in a personal story segment tonight. As you may know, Sarah Palin has a hit TV show on cable and another best-selling book called America by Heart, where she talks about her vision of what the country should be. But some say all of that stuff may be hurting her in the political arena. Joining us now from Alaska is Governor Palin. You know, Charles Kraut, he's a smart guy. Even Clinton said that. Bill Clinton said he was a smart guy. We're talking to him about possible GOP contenders for president 212. Of course, your name came up. And he said, look, he is not quite convinced that the outside activities that you're engaging in would help you if you do decide to run for president. Does Krauthammer have a point?
Well, bless his heart, he's probably used to those in the political beltway who perhaps aren't out there working, but they're talking and they're meeting people and they're doing their strategery, whereas I'm working and I'm having a great time doing it. It's been a pleasure to bring Americans along for the ride, to show them what America's Fort Knox, this land that we called Alaska, has to offer, and to film 8 episodes to show Americans what it is that we do and have up here in terms of resources. It's been a pleasure. And the book, of course, it's all about America's heart and our exceptionalism and how important it is to protect it. So I don't think there's anything non-presidential about writing the book.
Okay, we'll get to the book in a moment. The television show. You're out there and you're presenting your state in a very positive way. And it's, you know, very entertaining program, big hit for TLC. But how does that, in your mind, help you in the political arena, or does it?
I told the Alaskans that I was going to do all that I could to promote Alaska, and I'll tell you that TLC's debuted show as the highest rated show in that cable network's history, I think it's doing a good job for Alaska.
Okay, so you're promoting the state that you love.
Promoting Alaska, and even more importantly, promoting domestic resources that we have in America that can be tapped in to allow us to be more secure, healthier, more prosperous. A lot of the show has to do with the resources that we have that need to be developed.
Okay. Now, Kate Gosselin and you, she's whining that she's hungry and she saw a turtle or something. I don't know what she's doing. But see, is that presidential? You and Kate Gosselin in a forest, people would say, you know, look, it doesn't elevate the governor, the former governor of Alaska, and you would say,
oh, I'm sorry that I'm not so hotty-toddy, and you know, I don't do this before I make a statement or endorse a person or portray reality.
Did you make fun of her, by the way?
Life. I don't do that.
When the cameras were off, did you mock Ms. Gosselin, or did you make fun of her?
No, but that episode certainly reflected a life lesson that I'm a believer in, and that is life, it's 10% circumstances, 90% how you react to circumstances. I think that was illustrated.
All right, so you wouldn't appoint her, Gosselin, to a cabinet position if you were in Washington or anything, she would.
What do you think?
I'm just giving you a little jazz, Governor. You know how I am, how immature I am.
I know how you are, yeah. Hey, I need you to come up here. We'll take you out camping and hiking.
I'm coming next summer.
And
I'm coming up next summer,
okay,
absolutely. But I'm a tough guy, man. I'll be out there and I'll be skinning those moose or whatever you guys do. Now, your book, I enjoyed a book because it's, you know, you can hear you talking on the pages. So chapter 5 is the rise of mama grizzlies, okay? And you're very famous for that expression. Can a liberal woman be a mama grizzly?
a liberal woman who understands that it's individual rights and responsibilities that can pull one person up when they are exercised appropriately certainly can be a mama grizzly, because a mama grizzly is all about protecting the young, and we protect the young by teaching them how to work, not rely on another bear, in our case, not to rely on bigger government to solve problems and to provide solutions to everything that we face. It's all about individuals, it's about family, it's about small community, it's about individual responsibility.
Okay, so it would be hard for a liberal woman who believes in a collective responsibility to elevate everyone, that's the liberal philosophy, to be a mama grizzly, because you're basically saying, look, the real mama grizzlies teach their kids self-reliance, to not, you know, go into the big government and share the wealth, share the land type of thing. So it would be hard for a liberal woman to be a mama grizzly.
It would be hard, yeah.
Okay. Also in the book, you concentrate on the feminist angle, and you say that you are a feminist, but you resent the fact that that label has been co-opted by the left. Want to explain that a little bit?
I think there's a lot of hypocrisy with women's rights groups and those who proclaim to be the only ones who can wear that mantle, that title of feminist. I think that they are, in some cases, hypocrites, and they do not empower women. In fact, they make women sometimes feel weak and incapable of taking care of themselves and their families, because so often these feminists think that bigger government needs to provide the tools, everything that we need in order to survive and thrive in this country. I don't believe that. I believe it's all about a person's character and their work ethic and how they choose to take care of themselves and their family. That is how we all can make for a better nation, as we all do that. And I think that too many feminists today have decided, and I think it's been the case since the 60s and the 70s, they have decided that women need someone to take care of them. That's the most hypocritical feminist mantra that there can be.
Why do you say you're a feminist?
Because I am self-reliant and quite independent, and I'm lucky to have been brought up in a family where really gender hasn't been an issue, and brought up in a community, in a state where you're expected, the women are, to work as hard as the men are and even engage in the same type of jobs that they are. And it is all about your work ethic and your character. That is what will progress you.
You made it on your own.
It's not going to be relying on government to do so.
You made it on your own. You absolutely made it on it. So if I come up there next summer and you take us out, I want Van Susteren to come out there too. All right, I want her to come out, and then you guys can take us out, and just give me a knife, and I'll handle anything that comes at me. That's all I need. Just give me a knife. Governor, Merry Christmas. Thanks for putting up with us as always.